Well, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Dave Cohen. I'm a director here at Level Up, and I'd like to welcome you to our ongoing virtual series, Meet the Directors, which we've created to introduce you to our leadership team here at Level Up. What we're hoping to do here is to help you get to know the team leading the work here at Level Up. We're a young and growing company, and the folks involved with this enterprise are amazing privacy professionals who are passionate about the work we do and have varied backgrounds. So we thought it would be fun to showcase their talents and histories for you. So in this episode, I have the great pleasure of speaking with not only a fellow director here at Level Up, but also a friend. And the first person I had the opportunity to work with when I joined the Level Up team here just about exactly 3 years ago, Sara Maklad. Sara, welcome.
Thank you for having me, Dave. Really excited to do this series with you.
Yeah, I really appreciate you making a little time to be with us today. Sara's been working in the consulting field for quite a while now, which you'll hear about. Sara, can you start us off by telling us a little bit about your professional background and your professional journey up to this point?
Yeah, of course. So as you mentioned, I've been in consulting my entire career, which I love. I don't think I'd want to do anything else. I graduated in accounting and started with PwC in their audit practice. Did a lot of cool stuff there. Did an IPO as my first project which was really intense, but a lot of fun.
Mhm.
And then a carve out as my last project there. So I got to learn a lot within the accounting and audit space in my time there. And then I left PwC to go to a boutique consulting firm just because I wanted a bit of the smaller company vibe rather than a large company. I went to Sara, which is now called, well, now under CDW, but was called Focal Point Data Risk at the time. I joined their audit team and did a lot of cool stuff there as well. And then I got the opportunity to work with Eric and his team. I want to say about a couple years into being at Focal Point. So it was just got to meet Eric, got to meet Jen, Corey, Claudia, a lot of the folks that are now at Level Up.
Yeah, terrific. So a couple things there, Sara, I'd love to hear a little bit more about. One, for those of you that have been kind of following this series with us, a large part of the leadership team here, the directors, have really been kind of inspired by Eric Dietrich, our managing partner, and just how great it is to work with him. He's such a professional and also just such a great guy. It's really kind of cemented the leadership team. And as you can hear, Sara, that's neat that you've worked with a number of folks from the earlier days at Sara Focal Point. I'm also curious to hear a little bit about what you would characterize as the differences from being at a huge firm like PwC to a small boutique firm like Sara Focal Point and now here with us here at Level Up. What would you say are some of the major differences and what brought you to the smaller organization?
Yeah, of course. So I'd say a few of the major differences was just at PwC, getting really, really great opportunities as you are working with those large companies and doing really cool stuff like IPOs and carve outs. So
Yeah.
that's what I really loved, getting the opportunities to do that kind of work. But I did still feel like a small fish in a big pond. You don't really get to know a lot of people there. It's really just your project teams, and outside of that, you don't really interact much with the other folks at the company, even though it's very large. So you won't really get the opportunity there. Um, with Focal Point and with Level Up, since it's a smaller team and we don't have as many employees, it doesn't feel like it feels like you can build really great connections on a more personal level with everyone. And it also doesn't feel like there's those kind of red tape to speaking to Eric, our managing partner, which kind of did feel that way at PwC. That certain folks were a bit less approachable because you were, again, a small fish in a big pond. So I really do appreciate that in a smaller company that you get to build really great relationships with everyone.
Yeah, I totally agree, Sara. That's what brought me here as well, and has made it really enjoyable being here for the last 3 years. Is because we're a small boutique firm with just under 50 employees. People really get to know each other. We get to work together very tightly. And especially even with our project sponsor teams too, it's really nice to be able to get to know them. A lot of our engagements, as you know, are long term. The engagement you and I first worked on, I'm still project managing 3 years in now. I think we're on statement of work number 5. It's really, that's been a really something that I've really enjoyed as well. And with regards to your remark about the red tape or whatever, of course there's some huge benefits to working for a large firm like that, but one of the things that I think we both enjoy here at Level Up is that ability to move quickly and be flexible and be nimble. And so we can really get things done and get things done in a timely manner. So that's really great. Well, I know obviously you can tell from Sarah's background, we both really value hard work and we spend a lot of time working. But Sarah, can you tell us a little bit about your life outside of work? I know that you do spend some time away from the screen. So when you're not working, what keeps you busy?
I do try to have
Yes.
that work-life balance. So I currently live in Dubai. I moved there a couple years ago with my dad, which has been just really great exploring a whole new country and a whole new city.
Mm-hmm.
Um, since the weather, well, in the summer, I can't really do outside activities because it's too hot, but for the rest of the year, do like to do some water sports. I have my PADI's license. I try to go scuba diving as much as I can. I picked up paddle boarding. I tried kite surfing, a couple of lessons for that, but I haven't picked it back up in a bit. It's just a lot of coordination with the kite and being on the surfboard. It's very very intense, but definitely want to pick that up again. So I just like to be in the water in my spare time.
That's cool. Good for you. Yeah, I have a friend who kite surfs too. It's amazing. You really get going on those boards, but I imagine it takes some practice to get good, and there's a lot of gear involved too, so a lot of logistics.
Yes, very much so.
Yeah, yeah. Terrific. Well, in the last couple of minutes that we have here, Sarah, can you just tell us a little bit about your day-to-day work? Maybe share with the audience what does it look like on a couple of your projects right now? What kinds of activities are you working on with the team?
So a lot of interesting ones at the moment, but I'll highlight a few. So one of which is a revamp of a TPRM program.
Hmm.
And what we've done with this specific client is just leveraging as much automation as we can via a tool, since they have to service about 120 different markets for their vendor risk process, which is a lot of vendors. They receive about 100 to 200 a month. So it's high volume, and they run really lean. They only have 2 people on their team, so they really can't do the assessing themselves. So what we've been able to do with them is just build enhancements in their program, like leveraging different types of assessments, leveraging automation in the process. So we've been able to help them assess 10 times more vendors a month. Since again, we're using less human power and more automation. So that's been a really, really cool project. We're still helping them as a managed service with fulfilling the vendor risk assessments. So that's been really interesting. Another one that comes to mind is consent. Again, using a privacy tool for universal consent, we were able to unify their consent between their websites, their store kiosks, and their mobile app, which was an interesting process. It was a bit difficult getting those APIs together, but we were able to do it, and their customers now can consent for all three, just in one form instead of going to each one to opt in and opt out, which has been great. And then a third one that comes to mind is DSARs. I know they can be very laborious on our clients. So again, thinking of ways to automate that, so that there's less burden on the clients. And again, they're not taking away from all of their other responsibilities and only filling DSARs 24/7. So we have a client again with a managed service for fulfilling DSARs. We were able to automate about half of them, so they received 1,000 a month, which is a lot. We can't
Yeah.
possibly get through them just manually. So we were able to automate about half of them. We're working on the other half, but we've been able to help them pretty tremendously. They didn't have to hire more consultants or more team members, and again, they're just leveraging that automation. So soon we'll get them to 100%, so they won't have to do any manual DSARs.
Yeah, that that last one sounds familiar to me. I've worked on a number of DSAR projects myself, and very familiar with that ratio of the automated to the requires individual attention. And as you, if you're out there in the audience listening, as you can tell from hearing Sarah talk about those different engagements, a lot of times it feels like once our team starts working with the internal privacy teams at the companies that we work with, it's just, we like to think that we just can be perceived as an extension of their program. We work very closely with the internal folks on the other side, and they lean on us for that extra support so they can, as you said, Sarah, get some of their other tasks accomplished. I'll also be talking to you on the universal consent. I haven't had the opportunity to do that with any of my current projects, although a couple of them are just about to get started on that. So I'm very much looking forward to learning about and diving into that, setting up universal consent and preference across the different properties that our companies have, especially the big ones with big B2C presences. So yeah. Terrific. Well, that's just about what we have for time here. So Sarah, thanks very much again for making a little time in your day amongst all of your busy project work. So appreciate you coming on with us today and sharing a little bit about your background. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you for having me, Dave.
All right, terrific. And for you all in the audience, thanks for listening. As usual, we've got a couple more of these episodes to go before we close out the Meet the Director series. So please stay tuned. Next week, we've got one next week and then another one the following week, in the week of September 12th. We hope to be getting a little bit of time with our managing partner, Eric Dietrich, who we mentioned earlier. So please stay tuned, and we look forward to seeing you on the next episode of the program. As you can see in the banner down below, there's an email address for me. You can get in touch with me, and one for Sarah as well. So please do reach out. We'd love to hear from you, and let us know if you have any questions, or perhaps we can help you with some of the work you have going on in your shop. So with that, thanks one last time to everybody, and I'll take us to a program close. Bye, everybody. Have a great rest of the day.